Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about The Sex Lives of College Girls Season 3, Episode 6, the recap. So, I'm gonna recap this episode because some interesting stuff has been going on. And, I'm wondering, could this be the last season of this show? It's a cute little show. It's a nice little show to like pass the time by. But it's not like as phenomenal as some people on Twitter are making it out to believe. Like it's a pretty cool show, and it is a show that is geared more female, so that's great they have their own thing. But I do wonder, like, because of some of the stuff that's going on in the show, could this be the last season? Because originally, this was supposed to be a shortened season. It was supposed to only have like 6 episodes, but then they extended it to 10 like normal. And also, like, the writer's strike, the actor strike, that like caused a lot of problems with the third season coming out. It took 2 years for the show to come out after the second season. Then, of course, there's Renee Rapp, who played Leighton, a very beloved character. She just up and quit the show to pursue music and stuff, and that pissed a lot of fans off, and they had to write around her character. Then there is, all the diversity in the show. You got people of color, you got people of like many different LGBT types, and you know how the general public is starting to hate on that now. And a lot of diverse projects are getting canceled. Then there is David Zaslav himself, a man who loves to cancel diverse content and loves to cancel as many HBO Max shows as possible because he just wants to ruin the whole platform. The man is literally licensing out DC projects, which is supposed to be on HBO Max because Warner Brothers is supposed to own DC streaming stuff, and yet now is going to other streaming sites like Amazon Prime. He's getting rid of tons of Cartoon Network cartoon. I don't even think there's a single Cartoon Network cartoon on HBO Max, which is bizarre. So then you also gotta think about the rushness of the writing this season because season 3 is on speed. This is the most rushed season I've ever seen. They're trying to cram in like 100 different storylines in one little old season. That's never a good thing. And it's kind of like, why? Why are they trying to cram so much in one season? Could this be the last one? Who knows? Like, you just don't know. So I'm not seeing the renewal of a season 4. I'm just not seeing it because they haven't even done early renewal yet. Plus, there are people, are they even really watching this show? Because it's kind of like some people didn't even know season 3 started because, it's been 2 years since season 2. Some of the people don't like the changes that are made in season 3. And then there are some people who are waiting for the season to end so they can binge it. That is not smart, people. You got to think about this on a business perspective. If a network puts out a show to actually binge on the very first day, then that's okay to binge it. If they put it out weekly, that means they want you to watch it every week. If you don't watch every week, that tells them, hey, you don't like our show. And so we might as well cancel it. Don't wait to binge it when the season ends. You watch it when it comes out weekly. Many shows have suffered because of this. And then you also got to think of the last problem in the show, Mindy Kaling herself, who hasn't had a huge win in a good long while. A lot of her projects have been controversial, to say the least, like Velma, and a lot of people are just losing faith in her. Plus, a lot of but one thing I appreciate about the writers this season is they actually listen to the fans. However, when the fans got what they wanted, now they want to complain, i.e. Whitney and the whole Kanan situation. So let's dive into this. So Yeah, this season is very, very, very rushed. Let's just say that. Like, it's like they come up with a story plot line in one episode and then it gets resolved either in that same episode or the next episode. Nothing really lingers, and Whitney is probably the biggest culprit of this. They have so much for Whitney to do that it's making fans' heads spin because she's going down one dark path after another, and they don't know what the conclusion is going to be. They got four more episodes, so there's really no telling how this is going to conclude. It always ends on a big cliffhanger. But there's so much going on with this one character. It's like, yo, spread it around. Give some of the other people some of those story arcs. And stop like crapping on Whitney. But I'll get into that a little bit later. So, I've noticed this season so far, when it comes to Kimberly, she's just there. She's just there to be Kimberly, and nothing has really changed about her other than they're hyping up her nerd factor. All of a sudden, she's into criminal justice and wants to be like on like some type of Supreme Court thing. And I don't remember her ever being a criminal justice major in the past. But I guess she always wanted to be a judge or a lawyer or some crap like that. Well, then why doesn't she really take classes that revolve around that in the past? But whatever. I'm still pissed about the whole Kanan thing. I wanted those two to date. I believe in the power of limp. I wanted her to limp all season long, and that's never going to happen. But she is completely over him, even to the point where he barely shows up this season. I'll get into him just a wee bit later. And so, like, because she's completely over him, she started dating this bisexual dude. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe she'll gain some perspective on the bisexual, like, culture. She ain't really gained nothing other than a couple of gags here and there, and her being uncomfortable, and her going overboard trying to please him when he's not really into what she wants him to do. That ended very quickly because apparently she got high and he just ditched her at a party. Wow, that's a great way to show like support for the LGBT and everything. Is that if a bisexual dude sees you being high and he's dating you and banging you, he's just gonna leave you there. And so, like, that's completely over with now. And now, all of a sudden, she's crushing on a guy in her class. This guy is about as nerdy as her and as gooberish as her. So she's basically dating herself. And so she had like an off day and she decides to spend it by going on an exits tour. So she's going on a college tour of her own college. This is adding nothing to her character, and this is not adding no depth from the last two seasons on where she's at in her life. It's like they don't know what to do with her this season. They could have gave her some of Whitney's storylines, or they could have put her in a big love triangle with Whitney, Kanan, and of course, Kimberly. But no, because of fan service, they didn't do that and stuff. So Bella, she's better this season. Thank God for that. She was a bit too hectic the last two seasons. Now, I'm cool with her being like, sheltered, not having a sex life and having strict parents, then going off to college and then exploring your sexual side. That's completely fine. And they could have got a good mileage out of that. However, they went the extreme route and just made her completely crazy and unbearable. And she made a lot of mistakes in season 2, which she has not corrected or apologized for. They just decided, okay, we're going to give you this person to mentor. We're going to make you a little bit better. We're going to give you this new boyfriend. Her new boyfriend is boring. He is as boring as the bisexual dude that Kimberly had. But this dude is way too nice. He's too soft and everything. Yes, I want Bella to be with a nice guy. But he's overly too soft. There's like nothing edgy about him. And I'm surprised she hasn't dumped him yet. Because Bella's the type of person who wants an edgy sexual person, and they haven't even done it yet. Now, this could be her mellowing out, but shouldn't and I throw my camera. But shouldn't he be the one to like mellow her out a little bit since you gave her this soft, really nice guy? And but it's like they need to do something with him because he's just so uberly nice to where it makes my teeth hurt how sweet he is and stuff. And it's just so annoying. There are the two latent replacements. There's Casey, the roommate, who nobody seems to like. Like, the fandom just does not like her. She's rude, but in a nice kind of way, and she's preppy. And it's just, she doesn't add nothing to the group. She doesn't add nothing to the main characters, like, at all. However, in terms of her, she does have, like, she's self-conscious about her body because of her mother. Her mother thinks she's too big, and because of that, she ends up starving herself a little bit. She edits her pictures to make her look more skinnier, and that is something that they should have focused on a whole lot more throughout the season and have the other girls try to help her with that. But instead, it's only been brought up in 2 episodes. And note, this is like what, the 6th episode? And it's only been brought up twice, but barely brought up. And they're just sprinkling it around very, very gently in the show. But this should be her main plot thing. Not her getting cheated on by her boyfriend. And then her not hooking up, but her liking this new guy all of a sudden. This random new guy who just appeared out of nowhere. And this is going to be her new love interest. And what they should be focusing more on her being like not liking herself. That is something they can see. This is the problem with this show and their writing. When they have something good, they just piss all over it and then they go into something really stupid. No, focus on this. Because there's a lot of people who have body issues, especially in college, and especially after Thanksgiving and Christmas when they gained the freshman 15. I remember when I was in college, I don't even remember what year it was. Yeah, maybe I was a freshman, and I remember there was one girl, and she was pretty slim and stuff like that. Then after the holidays, she got bigger. And I noticed that. I didn't say nothing because it's wrong to say something, but like I noticed it. And speaking of notice, can people lay off Kimberly, the actress who plays Kimberly? Look, she lost weight and that's why she looks older. Okay? I have seen some of the most nastiest comments online depicted about the way this woman looks. She had a baby not too long ago. But nobody knew it because nobody knew it until she posted pictures of it and stuff. But because she's lost like a lot of weight, she has looked skinny ever since season 2, but it's given her an older appearance. But I've seen some of the nastiest comments directed towards her. The other latent replacement, Taylor, that's it, Tyler or whatever. She looks the most like Leighton. And honestly, if they just would have recast Renee with this character, I would have been fine since they look similar to each other. And people should be used to people getting recast, but whatever. So her storylines are going about as quickly as could be. First, she has a drinking problem, and that ends in like 1 episode. Bella is still her mentor, but she doesn't listen to Bella. So what's the point in being mentored by her? Because she's stubborn, just like Leighton is. And she's a lesbian, just like Leighton is. And not only that, but they're doing something a little bit differently with her. They had her crush on her roommate. That's why she was always hanging out with Bella and her friends. And so they did this whole thing that I'm pretty sure is going to piss off the LGBT community. They did this whole thing where she thought, hey, if I take my roommate to like a lesbian LGBT type party or whatever type party it was, oh no, I remember they were trying to get surgery for this one person because they're going to be like a transgender person. So anyway, it's like this LGBT party, right? And so she thought, hey, if I take this straight girl to like, or at least, she thinks she thinks her roommate is secretly a lesbian. She thought, hey, maybe if I bring her to like this LGBT party, maybe it will make her come out her shell and we can start like dating and making out. This completely backfires, but not in the way I think it does. So her roommate is as straight can be. We don't know nothing about her roommate because she literally just appears and disappears. This is the first time she's ever spoken on the show, and she's only been shown like twice. And so her roommate, after Tyler kisses her, she's all like, "Oh no, I'm sorry if I gave you that impression, but I'm not that way." First of all, why is her roommate apologizing? Her roommate has done nothing to prove that she's part of the LGBT community. Her roommate should not be apologizing. It should be Tyler apologizing because Tyler is trying to make this straight girl into a lesbian, and Tyler literally kissed her without consent. And also, why did the black girl have to apologize? Why? Why did the black girl have to apologize and the black girl did absolutely nothing, being the roommate? I swear, this is literally season one writing with Whitney all over again. It's like, and Bella also, it's like something I've noticed when it comes to the main cast of females. The writers will write them doing something they should not be doing, and they get on to men for doing, but when the women do it, it's okay. Yeah, just kiss somebody without consent. It's totally cool if you're a woman, and even more brownie points if you're a lesbian. But no, if you're a guy, they have to villainize them in the show like they always do. And once again, we get a call back from season one to show that the writers are not very creative no more. This is Ash. I have no idea who the actress is, but everybody on Twitter is going gaga over her, and they can't wait for her to appear in the show. She's only appeared twice, and when she only appears for a couple of minutes, they get pissed. Apparently, this is a big star or a former Disney star or something. I am out of the loop because I am old. But everybody's going gaga over this Ash character. Her and Tyler did like speed dating in the previous episode, but she was only in there for a couple of minutes, and Tyler's not into her. Come this episode, Ash comes to Tyler's rescue. Once again, just like in season one, we have a bunch of straight males who don't like the LGBT and started to attack a lesbian, only for Ash to come in and protect her. This is the same thing that happened to Layton and her girlfriend and stuff in season one. It's literally the same situation, like storyline thing. We get it. She's a Layton replacement. Like, seriously. And so, like, this now causes her to like Ash. And they go back to the room, and I guess they made out or did something because we don't know. But then they wake up, and then Ash is in the chair, and what's her name? Taylor is in her bed. So maybe something happened, maybe something didn't. Maybe Ash is too nice not to take advantage of her, you know what I'm saying? But then this is also making fans be happy, like, yes, it finally happened. What finally happened? They barely had any screen time together. Like, they had about the same amount of screen time as Bella and the Fox mascot. They don't really know each other. We just know that Ash crushes on her. We know Tyler does not like her, but now is starting to like her. This is not a real relationship. This is not a real built up relationship. This is a rush, sped up relationship because the writers this season are very incompetent for some reason. And I blame the writer's strike, and I blame Renee Rapp. Once again, she threw a monkey wrench into the show when she left the show. The writing is so sped up this season. And let me throw this little tidbit in here, because something I saw online that I thought was really interesting. So somebody complained that there's no more nudity and sex in this show, yet it's called The Sex Lives of College Girls. I will have to agree. There's not much clickety-clacking going on in this show like there was in the past. And as for nudity, that has completely been stripped out of the show. There hasn't been a nude scene since whatever last season 2. And we did get that scene of, like, you know, Kimberly in her bra, and we got that scene of Bella. I don't even know what Bella was wearing when she was getting banged by that one dude. We did get to see some side action, but that's about it in terms of skin. And as for Whitney, I'm pretty sure she made love with her clothes on. And everything. And so there hasn't been much like clickety clacking in for a show that's supposed to be about sex. And that's kind of odd, you know what I'm saying? Now, the nudity I could care less about, but if it's called the sex lives of college girls, you're supposed to see them do it. You know what I'm saying? And so far, this seems to be the celibate season. Well, everybody's taking it slow and everything. Kanan, dude's barely in this show this season. Like, he's barely there. And him and Whitney are starting to start up their relationship. I'll get into that a little bit later. Him and Kimberly are completely kaput and they barely even talk. What was the point of even keeping him this season if you're not even going to show him? And speaking of showing him, there's a reason why I have this picture up. Apparently, in the US version, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if this is Photoshop. I don't know if this is AI or whatever. But apparently in the US version, they apparently photoshopped or CGI abs onto Kanan. But apparently in other versions around the world, we see his regular physique and everything. Why would they do this for? I don't get it. But anyways, I'm really upset that they're making him out to be like a player because like in the group of friends that all the characters apparently now share the exact same group of outside friends, which is odd because they've never met each other. But yet the outside friends like Whitney's the one head person of that one black organization apparently knows her entire friend group and hangs out with them like they're buddies. Like she hung out with Casey, and I'm just kind of like, how do y'all even know each other? Seriously. But anyways, so they're making it seem like this dude just bangs random girls every night. And a couple of episodes ago, they mentioned that, and I'm just like, really? That's how y'all gonna play this dude? He can't be with Kimberly. Don't know what the heck's going on with him and Whitney, but yet he's just a dude who bangs tons of random girls, which is fine if that's the type of person he is, but we've never seen no evidence of that. Yet every time off screen, you hear something sleazy about this dude. And it's like, why are you bringing this dude down? He is literally the only male character on this show that's like a recurring slash main type character. I swear the male versus female stuff of this show is weird sometimes. Then there is Whitney herself. Whitney, I don't know what to say, but they're giving her like a million storylines in one season. First, she's jealous of that freshman girl being a better soccer player than her. Then, Whitney ends up hurting herself and she's supposed to take the rest of the season off, but her coach is like, no, I want you to take this type of drug. It'll give you lots of pain down the way, but at least you'll feel better when you're playing soccer because we need you to win. So it's like, okay, that got brought up, but then it doesn't get brought up again. But like I said, the season's not over, so maybe they will address it, hopefully. Then she went to that mental counseling ward thing because apparently she's having a mental breakdown, but yet we have not seen her have a mental breakdown yet. But when you stop and think about all the stuff that's happened to her since season 1 and season 2, yeah, that kind of does make a little sense why she'll be a little distressed. But you would think Bella, of all people, should be in the mental ward because of how she was the other seasons. But apparently Whitney's cuckoo in the head and she needs help, but she won't go get help for it because she chickened out. Then there's the stuff going on with her classes. I don't know what the heck happened to that black teacher of hers because that storyline so far seems to have ended with 4 episodes to go. And it seems like, apparently Whitney's really good in black history type stuff, but she doesn't want to pursue it and write more essays and stories and whatnot about it. And that upset her teacher. And then when Whitney had that Black Epiphany one episode, she decided, you know what, I'm going to sign up for this class or actually re-sign up for it because she dropped it. That storyline has been dropped. Then there's the stuff going on with her science class. She finally got her headpiece because remember, black folks apparently don't sign up for science classes. Wow, really? This is how the show's trying to make us sound like we're not smart, that we don't take science classes and stuff, and like we've never gone into outer space, but hey, whatever. And even though black people have created multiple stuff in life, but hey, whatever. And so she finally got her headpiece because her teacher said he's gonna work on it, and he actually did. But now they don't have funding for their fish experiment or whatever. And so, like, her boyfriend, who happens to be rich, decided to tell his father, hey, my girlfriend needs funding for this. Can you help her out? So he does, and this pisses her off because she doesn't want his charity. Need I remind you, her mom is a senator who spreads her charity. So we know even more so that she doesn't like being a Nepo baby and she doesn't like other Nepo babies. We knew that since season 1, but yet they're still highlighting this in season 3 like people don't know. And because of that, she judged her boyfriend based on that, but then decided to sleep with him anyway, and then later decided to start dating him, only to start having feelings for Kanan again, which we knew she did at the end of season 2. That what pissed her off with the whole Kimberly thing. But that got completely wrapped up in just one episode. And we know there's problems between her mom, and her dad, but her dad is still okay and everything, and she still loves him. But then there's the thing about like, her boyfriend started to talk about, like, I guess his experiences with money and this and that, and getting into places and how it was hard and people looking and judging him. But then she judged him for that and got pissed at him. But then when Kanan talks about his struggles in life, and she completely sympathizes with him. So it's kind of like, what the heck are you doing? Then she ends up going to Kanan's place and making out with him. And it's kind of like, okay, does Kanan still have feelings for her, or he just a player? Because they're starting to set him up like he's a player because of that one person talking about, I be seeing tons of girls coming from his dorm room and everything. And so we know Whitney still likes him, but where is this going to go? She has now cheated on like her boyfriend and stuff, a boyfriend who she's been judging since day one and has only been nice to her and stuff. I'm okay with her having drama. I'm okay with her starting up drama. But you gotta have some type of good end game for her. If not, she's gonna come off as a horrible person like Bella did those other 2 seasons. And it seems like Bella was the original punching bag of this show. But then once they stopped punching on her, then they started punching again on Whitney. Because here's the thing that's interesting about Whitney. Just like with Bella, Whitney causes a lot of her problems, dating her teacher, but then they started making me all like, oh no, your teacher was inappropriate for trying to date you. Need I remind you, Whitney is 18 years old, an adult. So it's totally okay for her to date like an older adult and everything. Now dating her coach, yeah, that was messed up. But she was 18. But the show tried to make it seem like this is a high school relationship and everything, but it wasn't. Then, like, I don't know what the heck happened between her and that guy in last season. All I remember, it was some guy she didn't like in class. He was rude. I think they started liking each other, but I forget why they broke up. Like, I literally forget why they broke up. And then she started liking Kanan, and then they started dating. And I forget why they broke up too. I'll find out before, when the season ends, I will literally do whatever research I have to find out why she broke up with those 2 dudes. Because, yeah, I completely forgot why. But anyway, she broke up with Kanan. And a lot of people were excited. No. A lot of people was pissed off that they broke up, right? And that he got with Kimberly. So there are some people saying online they just want those 2 to get back together. Now they have. But now fans are pissed because she cheated on her boyfriend. And Kanan is now this side piece. You got what you wanted, people. You just didn't get it the way you wanted it to. So This is really all for fan service, just like with Bella. Like I said before, Bella was nuts in the last two seasons. They have calmed her down. That was because of fan service. Bella is now with the Indian guy because of fan service, because of the whole Mindy Kaling always hooking up with white dudes. And so she does that with her Indian characters. And so, yes, this is true. Some people in the Indian community online, like at least Twitter and YouTube, was upset about that. Same thing with Whitney. There were certain people of the black community, black women, who were upset that Kanan broke up. Well, him and Whitney broke up, and then he later went with a white girl. Now, white girl happens to be friends, not best friends, friends and roommates with that of Whitney. People seem to think that Kimberly and Kanan have no chemistry together, but they've been rocking and rolling since season one because they work together. Every time he has a scene is normally with Kimberly, if not Lila and stuff. And so for people to say, oh, they have no chemistry, they should never got together. Yes, they do. They've literally had chemistry together and have helped each other with each other's problems since season one. Kimberly and Whitney are not best friends, as some people are starting to make it sound like. Do y'all even really watch the show? Because think about it. Who did Kimberly hang out with the most since season one? That was Leighton. She dated Leighton's brother. Then those two hung out a lot in season two to where they grew very close because Kimberly comes from like a poor family and Leighton comes from a very rich family. They was able to bond with that because Leighton just helps Kimberly out whichever way she can. That furthered the Leighton character to making her a better person. She was best friends with Leighton. That's why she keeps taking everything so hurtful when Leighton doesn't tell her everything. That is not the way with Kimberly and Whitney. Kimberly's kind of like a Bella. She's just off in her own little world. So for people to say, oh, like, how dare, like, Kanan, like, break up with her and then date her best friend. Kimberly broke, no, I can't remember who broke up with who. Kimberly, no, Whitney was doing something, I think, to piss. Okay, I gotta research this. So anyway, one of those two broke up with one. But yes, he did get with like Kimberly. It makes sense because they worked together and stuff and they hung out together. But Whitney and Kimberly were never best friends and stuff. And so now, like I just don't get it. This could have been the greatest love triangle story of all time. But the writers got scared because of the bad reception of Kanan kissing Kimberly and Kimberly lying to that of Whitney. She lied because she didn't want to hurt the girl's feelings and stuff. Because she knows like they used to date and how much she likes her. But deep down inside, you could tell Kimberly really likes Kanan. But now that's been completely scrubbed from the show because of the bad reception from fan service and stuff. Sometimes fan service works and sometimes it doesn't. And so right now, a lot of the fans' consensus is they don't like the path Whitney is going on. Whatever path she's going on, while it does suck, is probably going to add more to her mental state of mind, which caused her to want to seek counseling. They're going to have to pay that off. If they don't pay that off, then Whitney's going to just look like a horrible person. Oh, I forgot another storyline that got dropped with her. Her sorority stuff. Like, that just came and went. It's just like they're rushing so many storylines and they're giving Whitney too many storylines to where fans can't even keep up. I can't even keep up. I can't even keep up with who broke up with who in season 2 because they're giving her way too many storylines and stuff. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.